Hey everyone, so this was originally just supposed to be a brief video walkthrough of a camera bag that a friend of mine is considering buying, but I figured since I haven't updated the site in about a month and change, I may as well just turn it into a video review. And then that way I have a fresh post up and I didn't have to write. Alright, so before I go any further, I just want to apologize in advance if my levels are a little off. It's just me and a D7000 shooting this thing, so I don't exactly have fancy equipment or a set or a budget or a nice apartment, but I digress. So this is essentially a video review of the Chrome Niko camera bag. This is one of many bags I've owned over the years and I currently own. You can kind of get a gauge for how long somebody's been shooting by how many camera bags that they've owned. And usually what happens is you buy it for the gear you've got, and then you get more gear, and then you buy another bag, and then you get more gear, and then you buy another bag, and you get a lot of gear, and then you have to decide between bags that fit them all and bags that fit some of them. It's a big pain in the ass. I've got everything from a bag for just the body and the lens to a bag to carry everything across the country. The tricky part is finding something in between. It's finding that Goldilocks bag that's not too big, not too small, not too conspicuous, not too, chic where it costs $500 because your camera bag looks like a bowling bag because you like Big Lebowski, although it is an awesome movie. So finding that kind of in-between bag's always been tricky. I've gone through a lot of them, and I finally settled on the Chrome Niko. The Chrome is the name of the company, Niko, Chrome Industries, I think, and then Niko is the bag model. And it is about as simple and nondescript as you can get. It's a box. It's the Scion XB of camera bags. In fact, if you were to put wheels on it, it looks pretty much just like a Scion XB. They're ugly cars. So, but the thing that's nice is because it's simple and square, it gives you a lot of space to fit things without requiring a huge bag, because you don't have all these superfluous, like nooks and crannies and all that crap. So I'm going to start by showing kind of how it wears, and then we'll move into the more detailed shots. So like most sling bags, it's got a little lock strap that keeps it nice and secure. One thing that I really like this is because, so here, check it out. So you can see it's small, and it sits pretty squarely on the back in the middle. So the first thing is, it doesn't really get in the way. It doesn't really restrict your range of motion as much as you would from a regular bag. The other thing is, when you've got the straps nice and tight, it barely moves. So if you're on a bike, if you're walking around town, you don't have to worry about it slinging around and knocking people in the face and coming all around. When I used to bike living in San Francisco, a lot of times what would happen is I'd have the sling bag on, and it would kind of just sort of shift. And sometimes even when they had the lock straps, like it would just shift or nothing really worked. So I like this one. The other nice thing about the square shape is that it makes the perfect little shelf for when you're switching lenses and stuff. You can put your body out here, you can get the lens, you can boom, 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 mix drinks, whatever you want to do. So it's pretty handy. And like most Chrome bags, it has their little signature. Look how hip we are. We have a seatbelt buckle as our bag buckle, but it actually comes in handy because if I want to take off the bag, I can just do that. Whereas versus having to yank it over my head, which seems like an odd thing, but if you're taking the bag off in a crowded bus or train, it's a lot easier to just kind of unlock it and let it slip down than it is to try and pull it over. Beyond that, there's really not much going on the outside. One thing that's nice is you can lock it so that you can only open it so far, but I'll show that when I get into the detail shots, which I will do right now. Okay, and we're back. So now you don't have to see my ugly mug, you can just see my pretty little hands. So here are some detail shots of the bag. One thing I started to mention earlier was that you can lock it here. So you sling it around on the side and it becomes a nice little change bag, and what's nice is you can open it up and get to your lenses. So right now, as you can see, I've got 3 lenses accessible from I guess you call it the slung position or whatever the hell you want to call it. And so if I were wearing it, I could just bring it around, I could pull out a lens, I could change it on here, and then these two snaps right here make it so that I can't accidentally open it too far and have everything come spilling out, and it keeps anybody, like if I'm shooting a festival or something and it's loud and there are people behind me, you know, keep someone from getting in. Another quick note about the zippers, as you can tell, they're weather sealed, which is nice. The bag itself is pretty weather resistant. I've been caught in rains with it, and honestly everything inside has stayed pretty dry. And speaking of inside, so let's kind of show you guys what it's got. So in here today I have, what have I got? 3 lenses. So I've got a mid-size 28 to 70, got a nice small 50 mil, I've got my 85, and oops, hey, look at that. This is what you shouldn't do. You should not leave loose body caps. So I've got a D700 with a battery grip. So since it's stacking vertically, I can fit a pretty tall thing. I don't have a D4, but I assume that it could probably fit in here as well. I've also got 2 strobes, a 900 and a 700. If I didn't, I could probably fit that 7000 in here as well. I mean, not with the strobes, instead of, but still, I mean, for such a small bag, it fits a lot. But here's the caveat. As you may have noticed, let me set these aside real quick. As you may have noticed, this is not a standard divider. This is not your basic Velcro divider thing. This is an Amazon box and a whole lot of duct tape. And the reason being, so due to an inherent design flaw, inherent meaning that there's really nothing they could have done to avoid it as far as I can tell. You've only got Velcro attache, Velcro loops on 3 walls of the bag. So you don't have a 4th wall. So that takes away a lot of your stability. And the insets, the little Velcro inserts that they provide, either I'm stupid or there's no way to configure them so that you can actually access lenses from this kind of configuration. So what I did was I took an Amazon box and I just cut it to size and I used Velcro and boom, it's perfect. You know, so there is some assembly required, but once it's in there, it's done. And see, because of how it's set up, now I've got these, I got the lens pockets or areas or whatever the hell you want to call them facing front. I can even pull out the speed lights as well. So the only thing I can't pull out is the camera body, and that's because I'm going to have it hanging from me anyway. It's also got a handy little pouch. See, as you can see, everything is weather sealed, so everything stays nice and dry and just zips right up. And then it's also got this top pocket. Sorry. That I've got a macro lens and the lens hoods for the other, and then you've also got a pouch in there. So again, it's really just a square bag with a big pocket and a little pocket, and that's it. But even though it's simple, you know, the little nice features such as the belt buckle and the side loader and all that, I mean, I use this pretty much on any gig that doesn't require a lot of glass, or my 70 to 200, which can't really fit in this current configuration. But for, you know, photo walks, day trips, you know, brief little shoots, it's absolutely great. It's got the standard tripod, monopod holder, and that's really it. I mean, there's not much else. It's a bag. There's really not much else to say. So, thanks for watching, and I really don't know how to end these things, so go away now. No, really, go. Go.